So I am going to be upfront. I really do not know how to address this. Really, I don't know what to say. I found this out early in the morning, and I've kind of spent the last little bit just thinking about this entire situation. If you guys don't know, Francis Ngannou was involved in a fatal accident that tragically a 17-year-old woman lost her life from, and I don't know, man. Let's read the article. There's a lot I want to say here, and I genuinely do not think I will be able to put into words, but let's just read this. Francis Ngannou involved in a horrific accident that resulted in the unaliving of a 17-year-old. You have to look at certain words on YouTube. Know what to say. Um, so yeah, Francis Ngannou faces scrutiny after a tragic accident in Cameroon claims a teen's wife. Blah, blah, blah. Former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou has been linked to a devastating incident in Cameroon that claimed the life of a teenager. Reports from local media indicate the MMA star was riding his motorcycle in the streets of Yaoundé, I'm not sure, the nation's capital, when a collision occurred with a 17-year-old girl, uh, Ntsama Brigitte Manuella. I know I said that wrong. I apologize. Despite Nagano's efforts to rush her to Yandu General Hospital and cover all medical expenses, the youngster tragically succumbed to her injuries. 17. You know, if you guys are unaware too, like Francis lost his son around a year ago, and you know that is one of the biggest nightmares any human has, any parent has, is seeing your children go before you, and then you add on to this again. I'm assuming he was driving recklessly. I'm assuming he was probably ripping down the street over 100 miles per hour. Uh, but again, I don't want to go off of assumptions here. The fighter has reportedly accepted full responsibility for the accident, casting a shadow over his anticipated 2025 comeback following a strong debut in PFL. Yeah. The incident unfolded as Nagano navigated the streets of Yaoundé, a city familiar with the fighter's rags to riches journey. Eyewitness accounts suggest a collision with Manuela was accidental, though investigations remain ongoing. Recognizing the severity of the situation, Nagano immediately transported the injured teen to the nearest medical facility and ensured her treatment costs were fully covered. Despite the urgent measures, Manuela's injuries proved fatal, leaving family, friends, and the local community in mourning. Um, 17, man. Like, you know, it's really something when you hear about people passing away that are younger than you. Like I'm 20. I'm not that far removed from being 17. But like just maybe that could have been me. There have been certain scenarios where some dickhead rips down the road while I'm crossing. Luckily, I've never been hurt by uh, 17. A community in mourning. Manuela's death has sparked an outpouring of grief across social media, with friends, family sharing tributes to the teenager, described as vibrant and ambitious. Local authorities have urged patience as they piece together the details of the collision, emphasizing the need for sensitivity amid widespread speculation. For Francis Ngannou, the road ahead is uh, fraught with personal and professional challenges as legal and ethical discussions unfold. The fighter's next step, both in addressing the incident and returning to competition, will be scrutinized closely. Man, this happens, shit like this happens way too much, man. Um, like I said, I really, I'm not one to be talking, and I really don't know what to say. You know, the story of Francis Ngannou, him growing up in the sand mines, being a slave, trying to escape multiple times, making it to Paris, getting into originally training for boxing, decides to get into MMA, and only a few years became the UFC heavyweight champion. And we all know what Francis can do in the cage. He's one of the scariest fighters. Has one of the hardest hitting punches ever recorded. He hits like a Ford Escort going at 50 miles an hour, whatever the stupid saying is. Adding this onto what he's been through, dude. Like I, I always reference it when I bring up Francis Ngannou. If you haven't watched Mixed Martial Offers documentary on him. He's done a couple X-Men. They're all really good. Um, Nobody has gambled on themselves and bet on themselves more than Francis Ngannou when it comes to mixed martial arts. It's nobody's close. And then to reach the pinnacle, to win the title, and then you want to go into boxing. Then you have the um issues with the UFC. Negotiations dry up. You're now no longer in the UFC. He was originally talking to ONE FC. They said they were out, and one by one, all of these companies were out, and PFL was the only one left. And they gave him the ability to go do boxing, which he lost both of them, but I mean, he did really good against um, shoot, Tyson Fury, and obviously got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. But still, for him to get to that point and do what he's done, it's a miracle, man. It's a miracle. And hold all that baggage in, and like anybody who has ever met Francis Ngannou, I find, um, he's an absolute sweetheart. Like even though he's one of the scariest humans ever exist, like he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I haven't heard anybody say a bad thing about Francis apart from Dana White, and we know that's mainly because of business. And Francis made the best business decision for him at that time. Um, man, when you get to a point of success, the fame is a part, the money is the other part, and you really got to look at how that fucks with your head. Again, Francis Ngannou, like maybe he doesn't hit this woman. Maybe it was a curb, a wall. straight white, whatever it is, and it's Francis gone in that situation. You gotta use your brain, man. Like I get it. Men do dumb shit. I mean, I don't think anybody will disagree with that. It's just how our brains are programmed. But man, like I maybe we don't see Francis compete again. I know, like the Wilder fight was a big thing. Apparently, like they were close to having the two fight deal, one boxing, one in MMA. That would have been another, 30, 25 mil right there. And now that might be gone all because of a stupid fucking decision to be ripping your motorcycle recklessly. I don't know, man. I really don't know. We again, I do this because I love the sport of MMA. Like I watch hours and hours of videos of fights. I am glued into the MMA world. The MMA world is basically my entire personality at this point. And I'm just tired of this, man. I'm tired of what's going on with Connor. I'm tired of watching BJ Penn, man, a guy that I grew up watching. Looking at where he is at. Nick, all right. Apparently Nick Diaz is getting better though. I really hope. I just it sucks, man. Like, a baby, man. Like that. That's what you are. Like you are not fully grown until you were 30. Like I'm sorry. Now that I've been in my 20s for a solid year, you don't know shit about the world. You are a fucking child, and who knows what that young lady could have gone on and did with her life, but now it's gone, man. I commend Francis for immediately trying to cover the cost and trying to do everything he can, rushing her to the hospital as fast as he could. It's I didn't expect this. I did not expect this to be the news headline we saw today, but I whatever the best case scenario in this situation is, and really, I don't think that there is such a thing as a good situation. When you're dealing with a family member being lost, a young family member at that. But and we'll see. We'll see what comes from the investigation. I will keep an eye on this story. Um, I don't know, man. Thanks for watching. I know that I've kind of just said nothing in this video, but again, it's like I'm not far off of that woman's age. Like I think about certain points, you know, certain situations I've been in, whether I put myself. Oh, okay, that was a motorcycle. Well, like I've been, walking to the gym. You have a dickhead ripping around in a shitty BMW, and they would take you out by doing a burnout, shit like that. And like, I've just been thinking about, all those things. The moment I read this, and how lucky I am. Oh, okay. We are. I don't know, man. Don't take work for granted. That's the biggest thing. You never know what can happen, whether it's at the hands of somebody else or whether it's fate or God himself. But yeah, that's all I got for this story. Like I said, I will keep you updated. I yeah. Let me know what you think. I yeah. I gotta go do something more joyful.